Three people collapse in three different places. One grabs his chest. The second person just drops, no warning. Then the third person, she's been feeling off for weeks and keeps ignoring it. Same fear, same panic. But what is happening inside their bodies? Completely different. And confusing them can cost a life. Quick question, before we go further. Have you ever heard these terms used like they mean the same thing? Let's meet David. He's 42, works late, eats whenever he finds time, nothing extreme, no obvious illness, just normal life, the kind most people don't question, like deadliness, stress, skipped meals, late nights. If you are honest, this probably sounds familiar. Let's be honest on this one. That evening, he's sitting down after a long day, and then he feels it. A tight pressure in his chest, not sharp, not dramatic, just uncomfortable. The kind of feeling you can easily explain away. So he pauses, takes a breath, and tells himself, it's probably just stress. And this is where most people make their first mistake. I'm curious, is this something you've ever brushed off before? They wait, because it's not painful enough, not serious enough, not convincing enough. But then it changes. That pressure starts moving from his chest into his arms, up toward his jaw. Now his body is trying harder to get his attention. And now he's not sure anymore. What David is experiencing is a heart attack. But here's what most people misunderstand. A heart attack doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always knock you down instantly. Sometimes it's subtle. What is happening here is simple. Blood flow to a part of the heart gets blocked. That blockage starves the heart muscle of oxygen. And the longer it stays blocked, the more damage builds. But here's the dangerous part. This is where most people get it wrong, so pay attention here. Because it builds gradually, people hesitate. They sit with it, they try to manage it, they drink water, they lie down, they wait for it to pass. Some even go to sleep hoping it disappears. And that delay, that is where things start getting wrong. Have you ever seen someone trying to wait it out like this? You can tell me honestly, because with every minute, that heart muscle is under stress. Not all heart attacks are instantly deadly, but ignoring them is what makes them dangerous. Now, across town, this next situation is where most people get completely confused. Another man, same age, he's not stressed, he's not resting, he's just walking. Normal day, normal moment. Then suddenly, he collapsed. No warning, no build-up, no chest pain, just gone. This is where people get confused again, because most people would still call this a heart attack, but it's not. This is cardiac arrest, and this is the one people misunderstand the most. This one is a completely different situation. This isn't a blockage problem. This isn't an electrical problem. The heart doesn't just struggle here, it stops. No rhythm, no pumping, no blood moving to the brain. And within seconds, the person loses consciousness. No pulse, no breathing. This is not something you wait and see. This is where survival depends on what happens immediately around that person. Not doctors, not hospitals. Most people don't realize this part. If someone nearby starts CPR quickly, they can get blood flowing to the brain. If a device that restarts the heart is being used, it can shock the heart back into rhythm. But here's the reality most people don't realize. Every minute without action reduces survival chances drastically. That is why cardiac arrest feels so sudden and shocking, because there is no warning. But in many cases, there were hidden risks building up before that moment. They just weren't noticed. Now the third case, the one that doesn't scare people immediately, but should. This is the one most people ignore for the longest. A woman, she hasn't collapsed, she's not in pain, she's just not feeling like herself. It starts small. She gets tired more easily. Climbing stairs feels harder than it used to. She notices she's lightly out of breath, while doing normal things, but she adjusts. She slows down, she rests more, she tells herself, I've just been stressed, I need more sleep. I'll check it out later. Weeks pass, then months, and slowly new signs begin to show up. Her legs start swelling slightly. Her shoes feel tighter. She struggles to lie flat at night without feeling uncomfortable. Sleep becomes broken, but still no emergency, no dramatic moment, so she keeps going. This is heart failure. And the name itself confuses people because failure sounds like something that happens suddenly, but most of the time, it doesn't. Heart failure is a gradual weakening of the heart's ability to pump blood effectively. The heart is still working, just not efficiently. So the body starts compensating. Fluids build up. Oxygen delivery becomes less effective. Energy levels drop. And because it happens slowly, people adapt to it instead of questioning it. That is what makes it dangerous. And a lot of people don't even realize this is happening. Not urgency, but silence. Now, here is where everything connects. Step back and look at the three of them again. Same organ, three completely different problems. A heart attack, a blocked blood supply. Cardiac arrest, a sudden electrical shutdown. Heart failure, a long-term weakening of function. And here is something most people don't realize. These conditions are not isolated. They're actually connected. A heart attack can damage the heart muscle and increase the risk of heart failure later. That same damage can also trigger dangerous rhythms, leading to cardiac arrest. So what look like three different situations can actually be part of the same chain. And this is why understanding the difference matters so much, because each one damages a different response. If someone has chest pressure building over time, you don't ignore it. If someone collapses suddenly, you don't wait for signs. If someone has been feeling tired or breathless for weeks, you don't normalize it. Here's the simplest way to remember it. Gradual chest discomfort that spreads, take it seriously. Suddenly collapse with no response, act immediately. Ongoing fatigue, swelling, breathlessness, investigate early. Your body doesn't just act up for no reason, it signals. Sometimes loudly, sometimes quietly, but it signals. The problem is, most people wait for those signals to become obvious, and by then, they've already waited too long. Which of these surprised you the most? If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Confusion delays action, and with heart-related conditions, delay is what turns manageable situations into life-threatening ones. But here is something most people don't think about. What your heart is actually dealing with every single day. I broke that down in another video. You should watch that next. I will link it right here for you, because sometimes knowing this early is the difference between reacting and regretting. And sometimes sharing it early is what helps someone else avoid that situation entirely. If this gave you a clearer way to look at your health, you can support the channel by liking the video and subscribing for more videos like this.